Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. I see most of you I spent the day with at the Daybell trial. It's good to see you. Hi, Queen Brown Eyes, Gypsy, Whispering Winds, Jen in Georgia. How are you doing? Lori 626, good to see you. Thank you all for being here to support our friend Robin, Teresa Williams. Hello. Hello, hello. Robin was just up on the stage, and this is a hi, all I need is Jesus. This is a tough time for her, something very hard for her to think about, talk about, and she lives with it every day. And that is the loss of Robin's 5-year-old daughter, rest in peace, Nicole Marie Van Note. Hello. High truth for us. So we are going to wait, let some people come in. Robin, oh, she's here now. Okay. And this is a tragic story. It's a hard story for her to tell. So I appreciate your love, your kindness, your support. I will try and guide with questions if need be, or fill in if it becomes emotional. Hey, prayer warrior. So I'm going to bring Robin up. Hi, Robin.
Hi.
Can you welcome in? Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I was letting our audience know that we are here to discuss your sweet angel, Nicole Marie, who was taken from you at the age of 5 years old.
She
In
was
this
five. She was 5 and 3 months.
5 and 3 months. My goodness. And I have questions for you, but and then you could get into your story on your own, or I can continue with questions because I've read it. So what I wanted to do first as people were coming in is, would you tell us about Nicole? Like, what were her favorites? What were her likes? What did she enjoy? Tell us a little bit about Nicole. And we have her picture up here. This is Nicole Marie Van Note.
So Nicole was a tomboy, really.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think that she would turn out to be like that, being all girly, got to dressed up every 5 minutes. But Nicole liked to play with trucks and cars and shoes like her brother, climb trees. She didn't like dolls too much.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know that until I bought her a Barbie doll house and with a real porch light. And she took my son's cars and drove them around the house.
How fun. I had 4 brothers, so I can relate. Oh, that's so cute. Did she have a favorite color or anything like that?
Her favorite color was pink and purple.
Pink and purple.
And
Very nice.
her favorite cartoon character was Barney.
Barney. Yes, that was my child's as well. Good old Barney. Good old
Oh,
Barney.
I
Well,
didn't like I didn't like Barney too well after I looked at the back door of that house.
oh, at the back door?
At the back door of the house that Jason
Oh,
took
yes,
her.
yes. Oh my goodness. What does that have to do with Barney though?
Someone put a poster size Barney on the back door.
Of the abandoned home?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For a little context, you all, little Nicole attended Head Start, correct, Robin?
Yes.
And got off the bus around 1 o'clock on April 26th, correct?
Oh, she usually got home at 3.
Oh, at 3.
3
Oh, okay.
quarter to 2 or 3, something like that.
That article said 1 o'clock, so I'm glad I said that. So quarter to 3, 3 o'clock?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And do you want to take it from there, or do you want me to keep guiding you?
You can keep guiding me.
Okay. So after Nicole got off the bus, Did she come home to change her clothes and have a snack?
Yes.
Okay. So she came home to change her clothes and have a little snack. Do you remember what her snack was?
I don't remember.
By the way, my friends, this was 31 years ago, correct?
Yes.
31 years ago. Nicole would be 36 today. So,
Same age as my daughter-in-law.
oh, first of all, we want to tell you we're all here for you because we know it's not easier. Okay. We
It
know.
never gets easy. It's like yesterday. Every
I,
day is like yesterday.
I saw your text where you said that, you know, every day is like yesterday. And that pain, right? So that raw pain when your little one's taken from you. So this was 31 years ago in Battle Creek, Michigan. And what was the population about? And can you tell us a little bit about Battle Creek at that time? Was it high in crime? I know it shocked the community. Was it a tight-knit community?
It wasn't high in crime.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't as big as it is today. I mean, they build on, they take down, they build it up. They got a big casino over there now. It's
Mm-hmm. Did it have a small town feel then?
yeah.
We're talking in 1994, you all, the year 1994. And so were the kids, I know in 1994, my child played outside, rode his bikes, did the rollerblading in the neighborhood, hockey and all that. Was it a neighborhood where the kids played outside and did that?
All the time.
Okay. And what was little Nicole's routine? It said I read in an article that you sent me that she had a little routine that she liked to do after school. What were some of her routines?
She would come in, change her clothes, get a snack, go over to Nikki's, which is Jason's stepsister.
Was that her little best friend?
Yes. And
And what was her name?
Nikki.
Oh, they were both Nikki's. Okay.
Well, we didn't call Nicole Nikki. We called Nicole Nicole.
Okay. So
And
Nikki and then Nicole.
Nikki also had a half sister, and I don't remember her name because I wasn't really close to her like that, but I was close. I knew Jason, his dad, and Nikki very well.
That was my question. I have that question written down. Did you know Jason prior to what he did?
And Jason's never been in trouble. Jason's always been an A, B honor roll student. And
Did I know in one article you wanted to know the why? Did you ever find out the motive or the why?
never.
And he wasn't, I saw reading about his character that wasn't normal for him. He was a friendly child, went to Sunday school, church, etc. And you knew him prior. So little Nicole got off and went to Nikki's house, correct? And how far did Nikki lived very close to you? I looked on the map, right?
Yeah, they lived across the street from us.
Okay, so they live very close. And Jason, how do you say his last name? Is it Simmons? Simons? Okay. Jason Simons is the stepbrother of Nicole's little friend Nikki. And then you around within about half an hour, 30 minutes, right? Around 3:30?
Yeah.
Did the article have that correct? Within about 30 minutes, you were starting to worry already?
Yes.
Okay. Well, within about 30 minutes, Robin was starting to worry. And you want to take it from there a little bit, Robin?
I called the police. I didn't go over to Jason's. I went down to the candy store which was a field over from our apartment, and
Now, what made you worry? What was it length of time?
Because Nicole was supposed to check in with me. I
Okay.
gave her 5 to 7 minutes to check in with me, and she knows to come home.
And she would check
So
in.
she would come home and change her clothes only once though, and then I started to wonder, what's going on. So I called the police, and they took my statement, and they, needless to say, they didn't find her until the next day.
Hmm. So, and they had reported her as a missing child, correct?
Yes.
So the community and the police were searching, and it was torrential rains that night. Yes.
Yes, it was freezing rain around 1:30 to 2 o'clock a.m. We were out till, I mean, there was a whole bunch of us running. We were just running, calling, screaming her name. And I feel like in my heart, I felt like she heard me calling her, but she couldn't do anything.
Mm. Do you know, were you all out looking for her and she was still alive with Jason?
I don't know if she was still
They don't
alive.
know what time that occurred?
No.
Okay. So I'm trying to lay the story out and help Robin get through this. You all, thank you for being such a great audience. So you're searching for now. At this point, what is going through your mind, Robin? What are you thinking at that point when you
I
guys
really wasn't thinking. I was just trying to figure out where she was. I knew where she went, but I didn't go into Jason's house. I've never been inside their home.
so you didn't
Um,
go to their home to knock on their door and look for her?
no, I didn't even see him outside. That's why I just,
You just
nobody
didn't think
saw.
that's where they were.
Yeah, I had a feeling that she heard me the first time hollering for her.
Mm, mm. And so
I
when
want
go
I
ahead.
want to believe that in my heart that she did hear me but couldn't get away.
Mhm. Mhm. She knew you were looking, right? She
Hmm.
knew mom was on her way. So they it was the next morning, correct? That an officer did they get a tip about the abandoned house? Is that what led them to the abandoned house, Robin?
Um,
Or did they just go in their search efforts?
so I remember the officer said that Jason's mistake was not shutting the back door.
Oh, to the from the abandoned house. That's right. He noticed like a plywood door open, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so he went in there, the officer did, and this was the following morning.
Mm-hmm.
And the officer saw that evidence that Nicole had been there. The little girl had been there. Now, is that anything you want to share? Was it something like a backpack or anything you want to
It
share with us?
was it was her clothes. It was her pink sock and her shoes. Just one pink sock and the basement.
Wow. And so at that point, did they let you know they had found her clothing?
No, they didn't let me know anything. I had two doors. I had a door that looked over to that place, over to Jason's house, and I had another door facing a different street. And
Mhm.
I went down the stairs because it had stairs at the time. And I
Mhm.
tried to go over there, and they stopped me. And they took me back to my apartment, and they stood at my doors so I wouldn't come outside. They ended up It ended up taking a year. They took the whole basement to the courthouse.
They did what? You cut
They
out. They
took
took the base.
the whole basement, the ceilings, the walls, everything that he.
So it ends up that let's connect. I'm going to help connect the dots for a second, Robin. Nicole's little friend Nikki's stepbrother. Do you know how he lured her?
He lured her with 2 dimes. He asked her if she wanted to go to the store and get candy, and she said yes. And he said, "Well, you need to come back and share it with me." So when the candy
Oh.
man saw my daughter come in the store, he had interviewed with the law, and he said it was really strange that Nicole was by herself because she was always with me and her brothers. And he said he'll never forget the day because she liked them coconut bars, and she bought 20 cents worth. Went back and see Jason lured Nicole.
Mm-hmm.
First off, excuse me, Jason lured Nicole. He saw her playing in the backyard and asked her if she wanted to go play with Nikki. Nikki wasn't even there.
Oh, okay. So she wasn't there playing with Nikki.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so he saw her in your backyard
Mm-hmm.
and lured him over to his house.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. Okay. With the 2 dimes
Mm-hmm.
and the candy. Okay. And then while she's at now, the article that I read, and I want to verify it with you, it said you were looking for Nicole starting around 3:30, and the candy man opened the store at 3:40 and in walked Nicole. Is
Mm-hmm.
that accurate?
Mm-hmm.
So while you were out looking, she was in the candy store at
So
some point.
at some point, yes, she ended up because see, we started from the front of the house and we were walking around the block just screaming, Nicole, Nicole, Nicole. Everybody, and then a whole bunch of people joined, and we just ran. We ran through buildings, we ran through businesses, we ran through car lots, we were screaming her name. Nothing.
Wow. Okay. And no one saw her walking back from the candy store. Is that correct? Did anyone see her walking from the candy store back to Jason, who was 16, by the way, at the time?
No,
Not
I
that you
don't.
know of.
Not that I know of. Nobody said anything except that man that owned it was actually a fish store, but he sold candy too.
Okay. And yeah, they said someone asked a question here. Hold on one second. It was how long? So at 3:30 on Tuesday, was it a Tuesday?
I don't
I
remember.
won't remember. But so 3:30 you realized she was missing for you because she wasn't checking in, even though she wasn't, she was at the candy store, etc. You're all looking for her. And do you know about what time Nicole was found? It was the next morning, right?
Yes, it was the next morning.
Okay. So probably, a day, half a day, you
But
all.
but see, Jason was out there too, searching.
He was out there searching for Nicole.
Yeah.
Mm. We hear that so much, don't we?
Before they even went to the abandoned house, they were inside Jason's house and they saw black trash bags like in the kitchen, somewhere in the kitchen area from the front of the house. I guess you could see the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
But they also noticed a pair of boots that had splatters of blood on them.
Mm.
So that's not even what tipped them off. What tipped them off was Jason's best friend. And Jason was walking to the store that next day, and he had told his best friend what he did to Nicole. And he was laughing about it. And he let Jason walk ahead of him as he called the police and told them. And they got Jason.
Wow. I did read that in the article. I'm glad he was that kind of a person, right?
Right. And I found him on Facebook, but he won't answer my messenger phone call.
Mm-hmm.
He stays here somewhere.
Mm.
So does his father.
In Florida?
Hmm.
Oh, okay. Robin left the Battle Creek, Michigan area to get away from the memories.
I
Okay.
left 6 months after this.
I can only imagine how hard that would have been. Now, so they're searching, and the next morning it was behind Jason's home?
It was between Jason's home and the abandoned house.
Between Jason's home and the abandoned house, a law enforcement officer was searching in the morning and located Nicole saw new dirt, right? And located Nicole in a shallow grave. Is that accurate, Robin?
Yes.
Is there anything else you want to share about that?
He actually put gas cans and tires on her, and he didn't put any dirt over the bag. They found the black bag, and she was in it
Oh, okay.
with
So
one sock on and a hatchet in her skull.
still in her?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, Robin. Bless your heart. Bless her heart. Um,
She wasn't there.
yeah.
God already took her.
Do you know do you want to tell us a little bit about any what what he did, or do you want me to just move on to his charges?
Jason repeatedly essayed my daughter even after she was deceased. He beat her with anything he could put his hands on. When he covered my daughter's mouth with his hand to stop her from screaming, she bit him.
Mm.
And Nicole did have a loose tooth in the front. So they found her tooth in the basement.
Mm. Wow.
And she was beat so bad that I had to argue with the funeral home to have an open casket because they told me that they could not do that because she was beat too bad and they couldn't. I said, you will. And that is not, I'm not going to say that again. You will have an open casket. She has family here. Everyone, and I mean, so many people were there. There was only standing room only. There was people lined up outside. All of the police officers, all the caseworkers from DCF was there. Because after this happened, I had to call DCF and I had to have them take my boys for me until I got myself right.
Oh, I can only imagine.
And I asked them for two things. I asked them for a lock of her hair and for an open casket.
And how did I got kicked out of the studio, and were you able to do an open casket?
Yes, they did an open casket.
They just were able to
She, I mean, I don't know how it happens. Like when I went and I saw her laying there, like this peace just came over my whole body.
Amen. You know,
But I mean,
she's
I kissed her so many times, and they asked me not to because it would take the makeup off, and I wasn't concerned.
mm,
But I have a book, and it's full. I have a guest book that is full of everyone that showed up.
a great support, right? And
Like
I'm
I
sure
said, it's
shocking for the community too, because it's two kids involved, right?
right. Um, there was this man. He was well off. His name was Bobby Holly,
Mm-hmm.
and he ended up buying an abandoned house, and he had it knocked down.
Mm-hmm.
So well, I didn't know all that. Anyways, I wasn't even in Michigan, but I was going back and forth to Raleigh.
Mm-hmm.
I went, and the very first time, I believe I had to have a police escort because I had went to our old apartment and they weren't very friendly. They were cussing at me, and I mean, there was a whole bunch of us. There was somebody who was being my spokesperson,
Mm-hmm.
and he went up and he explained to the lady what happened in that area. And then she went in her house and she was okay.
Mm-hmm.
But the police, they sat over by where the abandoned house was in the field, and they waited for us to come around. But that was the only time I needed a police escort. But all the times I've went up to Raleigh, I've always called the news.
Hmm. Oh, Robin, I'm just listening to you and my heart. I'm sorry. Whew. So he was 16 at the time, Nicole
Hmm.
5, and he was tried as an adult, everyone. Correct, Robin?
Yes,
Okay. We're
tried
talking about
as
the
an
state of
adult,
Michigan.
tried as an adult, and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
And he had many charges, correct?
Yes, you
I,
can
s-
read them off.
I will. I was just pulling it up. Sorry. My phone closed. So there were many charges, and new legislation
Hmm.
has come
Which
out.
he, which he is still under.
Yeah. So he has life without parole, and that was 31 years ago, and he is now, how old is he now? 39, so probably
46.
46 now.
Mm-hmm.
46 now. Okay.
And
And
I'm sorry,
no, you please go ahead.
he just got sentenced to another life term.
For Nicole,
Yes,
rather than
without
being able to
without
get
parole.
his sentence changed, correct? Because he was a juvenile.
Right.
And that's the legislation we're talking about.
Miller case versus I don't know what it is. It was brought out in 2016, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So he's still under that Miller hearing case, even though he's a grown man.
Because of the age when he went in, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so, sorry, I'm trying trying to hear you. And so there is legislation out that stating kids who go in as juveniles get life sentences without parole. They are looking at their cases and often they're giving different sentences, correct, Robin?
He hasn't got any different sentences.
He hasn't, thank goodness, right? But that's what this legislation is having them look at, correct?
Well, he's appealing, and he gets to appeal as many times as he wants to.
Mm-hmm.
The last time we went to court was in 23, and his attorneys started the appeal process immediately.
Oh, so he doesn't have to wait 3 years.
Oh, he has to wait
Oh, he does. Okay.
because now there's a different prosecutor.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And
So
she's told me that she's gonna follow David Gilbert's steps, and she's gonna do everything she knows how to do. And I asked her how confident she is, and she says, I'm just gonna fight for Nicole.
she's going to fight for Nicole. Hi, Rock Jim. Welcome in. Well, and so let me tell you what his charges were, everyone. His charges, I just had them right in front of me. Okay. Kidnapping, M, 3 counts of first-degree criminal, S, conduct, 4 counts of felony, M. Now, how does that do you understand why he got 4 counts of felony, M, Nicole or Robin?
I mean, it was probably how he emmed her.
Okay. And maybe her age too, right? Could have played a part in that.
Well, it should definitely play a part in it for the rest of his life.
Yeah, absolutely. And he is trying to get out now because he was a juvenile when he went in. And so they're appealing, trying to get this sentence because he's in without parole, correct?
Right. And he's not appealing because he wants out. He's appealing because he believes his second life term was pre-justice, what'd they say? He believed his second life term in prison was injustice.
So he just thought he should have had 1.
He had 4 attorneys, and they were actually law students, kind of like Lori Vallow.
So, may I ask you a question? You know how the Menendez brothers, they were 18 and 21.
Right.
And because they were younger and they had life without parole. And they've looked at their record in prison and it's been stellar. And so they have been recommended that their sentence was changed to 50 years, and they think it's going to be time served possibly once they go before the parole board. Do you think that is going to affect your ability to keep Jason behind bars if they go home?
Anything is possible. I did a little bit follow the Mendes.
Mm-hmm.
But refresh my memory of where they're from.
They're from California, and they were 18 and 21, and they unalived their parents.
Yeah,
and
I remember.
They were given life without parole, but then it came out, they found some of the proof of that the father was essaying them their whole lives. And so these circumstances plus their age, and they brought forth in front of, with the support of both sides of the family, and started a journey to get them released. And they're getting closer. So I'm wondering, is that going to affect others who, like Jason?
I hope not.
I hope not too. I hope not too, because, sometimes when we root for things, we're rooting for them. But then when you think about, well, look how this affects others, right? How
Hmm.
it could domino into affecting others.
Well,
So,
this is a lifetime. This is my daughter was took from me 30. I was 32 years old, and Nicole was my only daughter that I prayed for. That I wanted her to be my second child because I wasn't gonna have any more, but it didn't happen that way. I,
um, say that again. I didn't understand that. You wanted her to be your second child?
I didn't even want to have three kids. I only wanted to have a girl and a boy, or a boy and a girl, but
Oh,
it didn't happen like that. So I was thankful to have Nicole, and
yeah.
I want my boy. I want her back.
I know. I know. I just, you know, he wants, whatever. You will live this. Someone put it in the chat. You're living your own life sentence.
Yes, I am.
And that, Teresa, thank you for that statement, because it resonates. You know, victims, they go through the family, right? Nicole's a victim, but her mother now. It's a whole life sentence. And so, is he trying to get out, Robin?
Yes, he's trying to get out. But I talked to the prosecutor, and I asked her to give me some kind of timing. And she said, well, next week, and this was last month,
Mm-hmm.
next week, I go to court. I go to the Court of Appeals on a case that was a year ago. So that's like, I don't know what that would tell anyone. It didn't tell me anything. So
So,
I guess the longer it is, the better. The
okay.
longer it takes. I mean, I don't see any appellate judges honoring him any appeals, and I was told that if he does not get his appeals, if he gets denied, he's taking it to the Supreme Court. So he's really trying.
Wow. And you are Nicole's voice. You've been a warrior for Nicole, correct?
I'm trying. I'm
I read
trying.
some articles where they quoted you, and Robin's been out there. She's Nicole's voice, and a mother's a mother, no matter how long, right, Robin?
Right.
Well, and another thing is that that I something I read I wanted to bring up to you. I'm sorry, it slipped my mind. I was looking at all the wonderful comments. You have such great. Oh, you all. Robin's Cash App is ticking across the bottom. If you want to show her some support, it's the Cats Lady Cash App. You're welcome to show her some support. Matt, okay, people are asking. Tell us a little bit again about Jason, his background. You knew Jason prior to this, because people are coming in. You knew Jason prior to this. Jason was the stepbrother of Nicole's little friend, Nikki. And you said he was a good student, nice kid?
Yeah. From what I've seen of him,
Mm-hmm.
um, like I said, I mean, he got in trouble once, but it was a slap on his hand for stealing a candy bar. But I think
Mm-hmm.
all kids do that. But
Mm-hmm. Right.
I mean, he was an AB honor roll student. And then after I left Michigan, I would say 20 years or 25 years later, I hear all this bad stuff that he did do.
While he before
Um,
prison?
yeah,
Mm. Was it
yeah.
other things this
He
serious?
well, like there's this girl in We Are Nicole's Voice, and she told me that this girl was telling her something about Jason, and I remember I asked her to tell me who, and she said no because you'll go and confront her. I'm like, of course I will,
Mhm.
but I guess
So, do you know
so.
how Oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
So I guess he had went to school one day
Mhm.
with a syringe of something, and he was gonna shoot this girl up with it if she didn't do something. I don't know what. I don't know what it was. I don't know. I don't know who the girl was, but the police were never called. Um, the mother, took the girl out of school and never turned it into the law. Jason first started out feeding kittens to a pit bull.
Oh, geez. That's what you
So
found out later?
yeah,
Oh
and
gosh.
he did try to mess with Nikki and her sister.
Okay, that was the question that was in the chat. Yes. So, whispering yes. The answer is yes. That was my question. And do you know how his record has been well in prison the last 31 years?
Very good.
He's been good?
Yeah. I heard that he got beat in county, but I also heard that in prison, they get into law. So
They get
he's
into
helped
what?
law.
Law?
So he's helped a lot of people with their cases, and
Mm.
he's not even in solitary confinement. He's in general population.
He's in general population
Yes,
with a life sentence without
yes.
parole? Interesting.
And he's been in the same prison since he's been in prison.
So he's probably got his own little network there, right? An underground network. Get whatever he wants done. um, so they do study the laws to get out. I have heard that a lot. Oh, they don't keep you in solitary confinement in prison. Thank you, Shauna. So he's in general population, but he's
Mm,
not. Go ahead.
he was in solitary confinement for many years, but he's been out for quite a while.
Very interesting. And did that come up in his parole hearing?
He just never had a parole hearing.
So what was it 2 years ago? Can you explain to us what
It
it was?
was a re sentence. It
Oh,
was
that's right. Okay.
him trying to plead his innocence when the judge saw right through it.
Thank goodness.
She said at the end, which I think she already knew what she was going to sentence him to, because I felt it. But the end day, when it was her time to talk, she said, "You have absolutely no remorse for what you've done to this family." And my family was on Zoom here, and while I was there,
Mhm.
and thank God that the people that did the autopsy and everything like that was still alive. um I would have found out more than what I already knew. That's why I told you he was raping her when she was deceased. That's how I found that out. And I also found out that at 16, he had a girlfriend and she was pregnant and she overdosed and she committed suicide.
Wow. Did they ever look into that after the
I
fact?
don't I don't know. The prosecutor told me about it.
And
I
so
didn't
then,
know he
wow,
even had a girlfriend.
wow. So, what can is there anything we can help assist with as Nicole's voice? Is there anything our community can do for you, for Nicole?
Just pray that he don't get his release.
Do you want us to write letters? Would that help? Would
There's nobody to write to.
there isn't?
We've already done all that.
Okay. Well, if
We
you
had
think
a we had a petition. This lady came forward and she printed out 1,000 plus signatures on Jason's release,
Mhm.
and she sent it to the judge. And that's all. I mean, that's about all we've done. And I keep her group's been open since 2018. There's like 18,000 people in there.
Is that on Facebook?
Yes,
And what's it called? Nicole's Voice?
we are Nicole's voice.
We are Nicole's Voice, everyone on Facebook if you want to go join that. And now you said Nicole had two brothers, correct?
Hmm.
And they're older, both of them older, right?
Nick would be, let's see, he was born in 85. Nick would be 41 in May.
Mhm. Okay. And
And
then
Nathan is 37.
okay. And Robin's also lost one of her sons. For those of
My
you who are
first, my firstborn.
your firstborn. Do you want to share that or no?
So Nick was 29 years old. At the age of 14, he was diagnosed with epileptic seizures. And Nick had a passion of fishing every single day. Everybody knew Nick. Everybody saw Nick. Everybody knew what Nick was going to do. He was going fishing. So one day he went to the same spot he's been going to, and he had a seizure and he fell in. I'm guessing he had a grand mar seizure because he would have come out of a petite mar, or a staring seizure, which he first started when he first started having seizures. He started having the staring seizures,
Mhm.
and I didn't know what was wrong with him, so I took him to the emergency room. I thought he was huffing paint. I didn't know what the hell was wrong with him. I was like, snap out of it. What the hell's wrong with you? And they told me he was having seizures, and they just got worse.
Wow, heartbreaking. And how old was he at the time?
29 when he died.
Wow. Oh my goodness, Robin.
Grown, fine ass man.
Mhm. And they're still
Mm,
our babies when they're fine
Nick,
then.
Nick had so many females that wanted him, but he only had a heart for one, and she tried to hang in there. But my son, he ended up going to prison, and he did something. He set he set the fire thing off with a lighter,
Mhm.
so it flooded the cell because they weren't listening to him. He needed his medicine. He needed his medicine, and when he didn't get his medicine, he got irate.
Mm.
And so he got another year added to that, and she had to go. She hung on for 6 months. She thought that, I got 6 more months to go and my baby's going to be home, but he messed up.
Mm. Mhm. And this is your middle one or your oldest?
My oldest.
Your oldest, okay.
My middle one's been married for 17 years to the same woman.
Oh, good.
Love at first sight.
And do you have grandchildren?
I have 4 granddaughters and 2 grandsons.
Good, good. May I ask you a question? And I see someone's heading right, someone's asking, and that was did how they handle their sister's death. And my question was, how did it impact the family? Now, was Nicole's father living elsewhere at the time this occurred?
Yes, but he did attend the vigil we had. Him and his girlfriend or wife at the time. I think maybe they were married. Um, but after that, he went his own way, and I heard through his son's mother that he was found deceased. So
Mm,
I don't know from what. I asked her; she hasn't heard anything, and which is odd to me because I
wow.
guess they donated his body to science, and
Mhm.
then his oldest daughter, um, she raised the money to have him cremated. So I don't know.
Hmm. And how did it impact your children, the boys, Nicholas and Nathan, when
Um,
you all lost Nicole?
so Nathan was 6, Nick was 9. Um, I don't know. I mean, I took them to counseling when we moved to Florida, but as far as how it impacted them, I mean,
Did they talk about it? Did they choose? Sometimes boys don't talk about things, and
no, they didn't.
yeah, boys are like that. I remember with my son, I had play a game of basketball or something, and then he'd start talking. But they don't just come home and spill their guts, do they usually?
No,
Right? Well, my
but
goodness.
my oldest grandkids, they know everything that happened to Nicole. They know my oldest granddaughter's gonna be 19 the 4th of July, and she went to visit Nicole's grave and took a big pot of beautiful flowers there.
Hmm. No, I did read that they said that they believed his motive to be that that he was SAing, and because she screamed is why he did the other things. Did you hear that?
I've heard so much about what, why, how, when. I don't believe
Okay.
any of it.
I just wanted to see if that was accurate. It said
He
that it
couldn't
was
even
from the
say he was sorry. His attorneys read a letter that he supposedly wrote. And I'm thinking to myself, why didn't you just read the letter, or why didn't you just speak?
Mhm. That was the question I was gonna ask you. Has he ever reached out to you through letter or anything to
He's
tell you,
not
show
allowed to,
remorse?
and
Okay,
I'm not allowed to.
okay. But when he said opportunities in court, he hasn't himself spoken.
No.
Hmm.
I mean, he would look right at me when he came out of that back door. And when I stood up there and gave my victim's statement,
Mhm.
I had a picture of Nicole. The victim's unit has the biggest picture in their wall, on their wall, is of my daughter.
And she's so beautiful. I haven't yet said that. She's so beautiful, Robin.
I know.
Truly lovely. Truly lovely. And so how can they say he's remorseful even if he hasn't addressed you all, right?
Right. I mean, there isn't
But
any
someone else to
remorse.
address you is not the same.
There isn't any remorse at all. He don't. He don't.
Well, and for all, I don't know if we were clear on it after he did, they found her in a shallow grave, but he had put her in a plastic bag. And and then went out and searched with you all, right?
He was searching with the police, not me. They
Oh
wouldn't
my
allow me
God.
there.
He was searching with the police?
He was standing out there walking around with them.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. I wonder if he sent him in different directions or something, Wow. That is heartbreaking. Thank
I
you so
don't
much, Jules.
I
Mhm.
don't know what made them go to that abandoned house.
Mhm.
I guess maybe because the door was open.
Yes, I saw that. That's what it said in one of the articles. He noticed that the plywood door was open a little bit.
See, his father owned that abandoned house.
Jason's father did?
Yes.
Oh, so he was comfortable going in there.
So I went in there. Afterwards, I tried to go in there. Let me put it like this. I
Mhm.
tried to go in there
Mhm.
3 times. 3 times I tried to go in that damn house. And
Mhm.
I grabbed the doorknob and I couldn't go in the house. Something kept pushing me away from there. And I'm like, I'm going in this house.
What
I
is
got
this?
in that house
Is this
and
when you were looking for her or after the
no,
fact?
it was afterwards.
Okay.
And when I got in there, I was like, wow, all this antique stuff. Then I went to the basement and I didn't see what they took out because they had already been in there. But
Hmm.
I didn't feel anything. Oh, I did feel evil. That's what kept me from going in the house. I felt evil.
Very dark.
Yeah.
Mm. And where how long was it before from finding Nicole to Jason being in custody, may I ask? I know the
I
answer.
don't I don't even know.
It was
They
about a
took
day.
me
Yeah.
they took me to the hospital and gave me Valium. I have no idea.
Okay. Within about a day or so, they started interviewing Jason, and he ended up,
Confessing.
yes, he ended up confessing. And one of his friends, I read an article, what you told me about Robin, he had told one of his friends who is the one who told on him, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Thank goodness. See something, say something. It doesn't matter your relationship, right? Thank goodness. Do you know who that boy was?
Yes.
And you knew him beforehand too?
No, I didn't know his friends, but I mean I remember him from court. And like I said, I tried to call him on Messenger, but he won't answer the phone.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's just it's just terrible, Robin. I'm sorry. I'm a little speechless right now. Yes, I'm just a little speechless right now. And you're fighting that fight. And like someone said, this is a life sentence to you. And that's just heartbreaking. That's what I was going to say. This is someone Nicole knew.
Yes.
This was not a stranger. This is someone Nicole knew. She played at their house with his little stepsister, but he was able to lure her up, which is why he was able to lure her, I'm sure, Robin. right? Because she knew him out of the backyard with 2 dimes for candy.
And she trusted him.
Mhm.
I mean, if Jason was trustworthy enough by his own parents to watch his stepsisters,
Mhm.
I think that way, and I have never would have thought Jason would even do something like that. I don't understand, and I never will, and
Mhm.
I'll never get an answer why. I'll, I didn't even I forgot I so forgot when I was in the courtroom to ask him why. I wanted to, I forgot. I can't believe I forgot.
The
He probably
why.
wouldn't even know. He probably don't even know why.
Has he been diagnosed since with any mental health issues?
No,
No mental health
he
issues.
was found competent
But they
at
did they did
16.
they did evaluate him.
Yes, he's been found competent every time.
Wow. And sorry, I'm trying to get some questions too. Did Jason's parents ever reach out to you, Robin?
No, I talked to his father when I knew Jason was gone, and I asked him what happened. And he said, I don't know. I do know that he was up all night watching demonic movies. And I'm like, and that's not going to make somebody do something like that because I watch horror movies. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my life is a horror story. So that's not
Yeah.
going to make somebody do that.
Yeah, he's that's what he's done will
And he's not
always be with you.
and he's not sick in his head. I'm sure a lot of people would say, is he sick in the head or something ain't right about him. Well, I mean, I guess, you're 16 with a baby.
You're
And then
cutting out.
when I went back to court,
Mm-hmm.
the prosecutor told me that Jason said that he wanted to have asked Nicole. Like, who the
He wanted to
who
what?
he wanted to do that with Nicole.
S?
Yes.
That's weird.
That's
That's really weird.
that's sick.
Yes. Like he was attracted.
He was attracted to my daughter.
That is ew. Well, and so unbelievable. My gosh. No, he needs to stay
So
behind bars, Robin.
yes, and
Do you know when you're gonna have to be fighting this again, or does it just
I'm not
pop up? The appeal?
I'm
What
I'm not gonna be in the appeals. Neither is he. It's just gonna be the prosecutor, his attorney, and however appellate judges there are. And as soon as I find out when, I'm gonna be letting everybody know. But it's gonna be in Grand Rapids Court of Appeals, not Michigan.
okay.
I
Okay.
mean, it's gonna be Michigan, but it's gonna be Grand Rapids Court of Appeals.
Oh my goodness, why? Please let us know. Please let us know. And she's so beautiful, Robin. And you know we're here for you in this community and we love you. And it's a nightmare. And you need let us know when what you need when you need it. But please know we're here for you. Little Nicole
Mhm.
is so beautiful. She's lovely. And I'm so sorry for what you went through, what you're going through, what you will always go through, what Nicole went through, and all
That's
of your
her.
children. Hmm?
That's her very last picture.
Which one? This right here?
Both
Beautiful.
of them.
Yeah, that's right. They are the same. She's so pretty. Were her
Hmm.
eyes blue or
Yes, they
brown?
were
Blue. Okay.
blue. My only blue-eyed child.
Wow. She's just so pretty and would have been starting kindergarten the next year, correct?
Yeah,
So
she would
after
have
the
been.
summer, right? When school got out and then summer.
Hmm.
And is there anything else you want to share with us about Nicole? Want to end on a positive note? Yes, she will always be with you. Thank you, Teresa. I know Jen. Is Jen in here? Jen just lost her daughter.
It's hard. It's hard, and it never gets easy. I met this female out here where I live
Mm-hmm.
that lost a 3 month old to SIDS, and every time I see her, I said it's like yesterday, right? When she cried to me, she came to me, she gave me a hug, and she cried her eyes out. 'Cause I told her, I said, I already know. It's like yesterday. And for her to lose a 3 month old, I just,
Yeah.
I guess that's a parent's worst nightmare too.
Yeah. There's almost no words, right? There's so much feeling, and there's just hardly any words to reach from other than, they
No,
don't sound enough, is what I'm trying to say. It just
I
doesn't.
have I have advocated for so many kids. I can't even tell you my first one, but a lot of people don't remember. Um, my first one was Rebecca.
Which
Her
which
her
Rebecca?
uncle. um,
Missing
it was
child?
yeah, it was. She was her uncle had took her like he was kidnapping her, and everyone was on his Facebook blowing it up, telling him, "Take her, take her to a, take her to the hospital, take her to the hospital, take it." And I wouldn't stop. And he did actually pull into a hospital, and they got him. And she got home, and he got arrested. And then my second one was Malia.
Mm-hmm.
And then my third one was little Joe Clyde.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Then Lucas Hernandez.
Was that
Then
Vegas?
hmm,
Was Lucas in Vegas?
I can't remember. It
Oh,
was the PI was David Marshburn.
okay.
David Marshburn got the stepmother to show him where she put him. Um, and then Summer, and then Monkey,
Yeah. I went
and
out to
now
Portland.
Sebastian, and
Mhm.
Summer, and Sebastian, and Summer, and nah, I'm lost now.
Well, well. I think, I'm gonna do a live on summer. I I'm going to do a little live on summer tomorrow, I think, and we'll talk about it, okay?
Hmm.
So, I saw some things that I want us to discuss. Yes, Monkey's mom is very sick. I reached out to Brandy yesterday in email. Joe Clyde is so heartbreaking. Yes, I need to go follow that. I've heard Jennifer Coffindaffer reference that case a lot too. So I'll have to go back and deep dive. But Robin, we love you and we appreciate you sharing this. And look at you, you advocate for other children now.
I'm
And
gonna do it. So is Brandy doing it too.
huh?
Brandy is too.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, she
and
is.
look at the Petitos and Schmitz too.
Hmm.
You know,
And I actually had a memory come up on my Facebook today with Summer and Gabby.
mm-hmm. Gypsy said these missing kids are lucky to have you in their corner, Robin.
Hmm.
And they said, thank you for all you do, Robin.
I'm not gonna stop, but my number one priority is definitely Nicole.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we will keep Nicole's candle burning bright for sure. We will. Absolutely. Does anyone have any other questions? Let me look through real quick. Make sure I didn't miss any. Did Nicole's friend Nikki, when she got older, ever reach out to you?
Actually, that's a good question because when I went back to Battle Creek and had my candlelight visual, and we were all on the front page of the newspaper, and I handed her a big 8x10 picture of my daughter, and she sat there and cried.
She
And
remembers her little friend, huh?
yes, but she was all grown up, and her story is also sad. Someone laced her marijuana with fentanyl and she overdosed. And
Mm.
she died. And I don't know why, but her son had got a nug and went and Cade, his stepsisters, her stepsister, and her son. I don't
Wow.
understand that.
This was
I
in
don't.
Nikki's adult life?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
So her brother in her younger stepbrother in her younger life, and then still more of this in her older life.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Oh my
And
goodness.
Jason's father don't live in Michigan anymore either. He lives somewhere here in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And they're actually they're from Cambodia.
Mm-hmm.
But Jason's father, he spent a lot of money to get him to the States. He because he was being essayed by some man that his mom let in the house. I think it was some kind of relative,
Mm-hmm.
and but I don't know. Um his sister was on Zoom, and my granddaughter already had her name and phone number pulled up before I got back to Florida. Of
Oh,
course, I tried to call the phone and it would nobody answered. It always went to voicemail or something. It just no one never answered. I still have that phone number. And I'm like, I've never met her. I've never met her. So she must have left.
wow.
She must
So
have left Cambodia and came to Jason, or tried to come to Jason's rescue, because she was on Zoom and she had a Battle Creek address.
and so he was being essayed by someone. Jason was.
I started at the age of 3.
Okay. So did they when they go into prison, do they help rehabilitate with counseling for that?
I have no idea what they do.
Because that would be something that I would have if it were I would just make them show me what kind of counseling and therapy and all of that he's had regarding that.
They won't
Because
talk to me.
I mean, that should be brought up though, that he's had what he needs in order to be,
It was
somewhat.
brought it was brought up in 2023 that it's what happened to him when he was a child.
Mm, wow, it's a cycle, isn't it? That is just a darn shame, and it ended up in your family. It just trickles everywhere, doesn't it?
I mean, if they let him out, they're they know what they're doing. They're risking another child, because even
Yeah.
though he will go to a halfway house,
Mm-hmm.
Halfway houses, they have rules, but they have curfews and they can do what they want all day long.
There's a question here. Did you say Nicole's little friend is unalive too?
Yes.
From OD, right?
Yes.
Heartbreaking. With other M's in her life too, correct?
Mm-hmm.
That is just heartbreaking. And they need
And
that.
their Nikki's mother died. Um, that whole family is just,
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what to say.
That sounds like it was a tragedy in its own, right? But not what you went through. So our prayers are up for you, Robin, and we want to thank you. You're so brave. And I know you always say you're not brave, but you are brave and you are a warrior. And you are Nicole's voice and you will roar when you need to, correct? And you're a great example of a parent who never stops loving and caring and fighting for your justice. You
I'll
really are.
always fight until I can't breathe.
She's still your
And
baby.
when I can't, my son will take over.
Oh, well, that's great to hear. So they support you in this journey.
Yes. And my grandkids will take over when my son can't do it anymore.
Amen. That is just wonderful. And I want to thank you so much for sharing, Robin. Please hit the thumbs up if you feel like donating to Robin for her Cash App is at the bottom of it's ticking across the bottom. And Robin, we're here for you. And anything you need from us, if there's a time when you need letters from people or petitions, please just let us know. And we're praying for Nicole and you. She's just absolutely beautiful. She really is.
And I know
And I know
she
it's
was
not easy, and I know it still affects you every day.
every day. I mean, I
Mhm.
got her pictures all over the place, her and Nick.
Bless your heart. And you said, and Nathan right now is living near you, correct? Kind of around you somewhat?
He is like maybe 25 minutes away.
Okay.
So right now I don't have my vehicle's not running.
Yeah, that's what
Um
you were saying. Mhm.
so
But he may move, right?
yeah, he's talking about it. I don't want him to, but I
Mhm.
guess
They
that's
grow
what he
up,
wants
don't
to
they?
do.
Yeah.
And I
They
mean,
grow
he's got 6 kids, and he wants to move back up north. He just don't like Florida at all. He can't. He's a redhead. He can't stand it.
up.
He can't stand Florida. His freckles go 3D. He gets burnt. He just, I don't know. He just can't stand it. Not to mention, he just, I don't know. I guess he wants to be around his father as well.
Mhm.
So, I mean, his father lives up there. So,
Will you remain in Florida, do you think, or will you follow?
nah, I might go up and visit, but I'm not moving back to Michigan.
Teresa wants you to know she's in Cocoa Beach.
Oh, nice.
Oop, my dog just sneezed, scared me to
So
death.
she knows how hot it is in Florida.
Yes, she wanted to know what part of Florida you're in, whatever you feel comfortable sharing.
I'm in Central Florida.
Oh, you both are. You're both in Central Florida.
Well, she's a lot down South Florida. I'm in the middle.
Jen grew up in Florida. Jen
I
and
grew up
Georgia.
in. I was born in Tampa, and my dad decided to move to Michigan and raise us all on a farm.
You got
So
the cold weather and the mosquitoes.
so it was a rough coming up. Yeah, I mean, walking in snowbanks to the bus stop to go to school, it was pretty rough.
Below zero.
Yeah,
Mhm.
remember putting the plastic bags on our feet, and then our feet would go in boots.
Put plastic bait. Oh, for the foot to get in the boot
Hmm.
or to be waterproof.
To be, so the snow wouldn't get our socks wet.
Yeah.
We
Wow.
had to stand in snowbanks and wait on the school bus.
My goodness.
Yeah, I don't know
I
about my
went to
guys.
college in Michigan, so I'm aware of the weather. Um,
Mm.
it's quite chilly, but it's beautiful there. But well, my friend, thank you so much. We're praying for you. We're thinking of you. And, you know, it's always amazing when someone's gone through something and yet they're still out here helping others. And I really
Yeah.
commend you. I really do. And
I
thank you for
mean,
all you do.
I don't know if you know Granny Crime Busters,
I
but
think you've shared a couple videos with me.
I always share her videos, her shorts that she does with Sebastian. I put
Mhm.
them on all Sebastian's groups.
Mhm. Mhm. Well,
And
and
I
go ahead. I'm
and
sorry.
I've signed the petition.
For
I
Seth.
don't know. I guess it depends on how many petitions they need to move the case to the FBI. I don't know. Somebody needs to find that out. What's the number?
Of what?
'Cause-
Signatures?
Yeah,
Isn't that how many is required on the petition?
it says 1,000, but
Oh,
so did Michigan needed 1,000 signatures. We got like 1,500 signatures.
you got how many?
We had got 1,500 signatures for
Wow.
Nicole.
Robin, there's a question here for you.
Mm-hmm.
Says, Buzz, can you ask Robin if she doesn't mind answering if the D-pen was offered for him, would she
They
have taken
wouldn't. I've brought that up to my victim advocate,
it? Mhm.
and she said even if Michigan did have the death penalty, we wouldn't do that to him because he was a juvenile when he committed this crime.
Okay. Yes, there are 2 petitions out there, yes. Well, Robin, thank you so much, and it's heartbreaking and it's tragic, and we are so very sorry evil entered your world like this and took your baby girl. We really are.
Yeah, I'm sorry that I just got diagnosed last month with PTSD times 3, which I didn't even know I had.
I can imagine. I mean, it makes sense, right?
Because I don't stop thinking about what he did to her. Her last breath. I can't stop.
Mm,
There's nothing I can think about then. That's all I think about. 24/7. That's all I think about. If
did
I'm
they
not
get
watching, if I'm not watching true crime, I'm playing a game or watching Lifetime.
you're thinking about it, huh?
Yeah, always.
I'm really surprised that he has not tried to, write you well, he can't write you one, you said, but at least he himself get up there and say he's sorry, right?
Exactly.
Stand up there and look you in the eyes.
Read
That's
your own
bas
letter if you supposedly wrote it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're saying you're well enough to, you're reformed, you're ready to get out, you're remorseful, then you wouldn't be a coward, you would stand up and read it and
Even
show
my
everyone.
son, even my son said that was bullshit. They wrote that damn letter. He didn't write that letter.
Yeah, yeah, and if you can't read a letter to Nicole's mother, then you're not ready to get out. So
You didn't get up and even look at my son on the screen. Because boy, you got something coming to you if you ever get out of prison.
yeah, I can imagine. I absolutely, it's so terrible. We have so many criminals, and I'm thinking of a case right now, and you all know who I'm thinking about. But we have so many criminals, but yet they're such little cowards, right?
Mhm.
They're big people around little kids. That's it. So, but Robin, thank you so much. Everyone, thank you so much for being so sweet, supportive, graceful, always. Mods, I appreciate you. Hey, Minnie, I didn't see you come in. Has he expressed remorse, Robin?
No,
Not even, did that letter say he's remorseful?
no.
No. Well, remorse would
He all it said was, "I'm sorry, I can't take back what it's already been done." Basically, that's all it said.
well, shame on him. He had an opportunity to show who he could have become, right? And he didn't. So he was denied, correct?
He hasn't been to appeals at all yet.
Okay, and so it's gonna go to appeals, and sometimes it takes a couple years to go to appeals, or could it come up real quick?
I don't know. I I don't know.
Yes, Robin
I
is one of ours. She sure is. Go ahead.
my advocate told me she will let me know as soon as she knows.
Well, you let us know. And you got my number, so shoot me a text.
I will.
Okay,
I
my
gotta
friend.
I gotta get off here anyway. I see this cat out here that
Okay.
already got hit by a car and he's headed to the highway.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. Hey, Jamie Lynn, thank you for coming in. No, that's okay. Don't worry about it, Whispering Winds. She by accident got all caps. I do it too. Robin, thank you. Bless you. Nicole's beautiful. Thank you for sharing the story, and let us know at any time if you need anything from us, because you are one of us.
Okay, thank
Blessings.
you, y'all.
Thank you and goodbye. Blessings to you all. We will talk soon. See you tomorrow for Velo Daybell trial. Bye bye.
Okay.